Good evening, Trubies. It's going on. This is Showing Up the King, here to do my review for True Blood Season 5, Episode 7. This show is definitely picking up. That's how I'm going to start off by saying. This episode actually picks up right at the point where Russell Edgington is killing the head of the authority. And again, I know in my last video I said you didn't know, confirmed that he was dead, but yeah, when this episode started, he was already a pool of bloody goo. So yeah, his stint on this show was very brief, and apparently, again, like I said, the coup that was taken out on him was already been planned. You know, Eric's sister and the other chick, it looks like it was the head of guy's wife. You know, she basically set this up because apparently none of them, well, majority of them, did not believe in this whole equalist thing with the humans. Everyone else basically looks at humans as food, and Russell Edgington has been behind this. Essentially, what ends up happening is the reason that Eric and Bill are not dead is because Russell Edgington actually wants them to all be a part of this movement, this Lilith cause. And essentially, what ends up happening is they drink of Lilith, the jar that has been in the encasement closure that had been there since the beginning of the season is finally opened up, and they all drink of Lilith. Well, not all of them. One of the guys quote unquote, thought it was blasphemy to drink from the jar, and Russell Edgington quickly knocked this dude's head off. Like, I didn't even realize how badass Russell Edgington is. Like, is he the oldest vampire on that show? Like, I thought for sure the guy from the Authority was, but apparently not, because, like, Russell is, like, damn. Anyway, Tara's a stripper. You know, that's, like, y'all like that transition, right? I go from talking about Russell Edgington to Tara is a stripper. And I gotta say, she got a very nice bod. No, anyway, so Tara's a stripper. She's at the Fantasia. She's doing her thing. I guess she preferred being a stripper versus being a bartender, which is fine. I'm not going to complain about seeing Tara half naked. I mean, she has a fantastic body. Now, they also throw Tara's mom into the scene for some random reason. I don't understand the whole purpose of her coming down there to Fantasia to tell Tara that she's never going to speak to her again. Really? So, of course, that's what she does. She comes in looking like Whoopi Goldberg from Ghost. And, you know, she goes up, she's like, why are you here? She's like, I came to tell you that I'm never talking to you again after this very second. That is all. I'm like, really? You could have sent a text message or a phone call or something. But anyway, so Tara kind of shrugs it off and her mama leaves. Hopefully for the last time, because I don't need to see her crazy self anymore anyway. Hoyt. Hoyt is, I don't understand what's going on with this dude. It looks like he's joined this band of haters. That's what I'm gonna call them, the League of Haters. And they hating on everybody. They hate you so much that it's not all hate. And they're tracking down shifters. It looked like Sam caught up to one of them in the hospital. But overall, they're going around trying to kill random vampire shifters, anything they can get their hands on that's supernatural. So that story is developing. We'll see what happens. On the other tip, the Belfleur, he's still dealing with his, and not Andy, it's Terry. It's Terry, yes. Terry Belfleur. He's still dealing with Enfreet, the fire demon, and again, that didn't really resolve anything. It looked like they were ready to die, but then he changed his mind. My whole thing is, I think that whole storyline, I guess Enfreet doesn't want to kill him because they want to die now. I think he wants to hurt who's closest to them first. So 9 times out of 10 within the next 2 episodes, Enfreet's going to go back and try to kill his family and kids again, and which is going to force him to go back and try to deal with the whole situation. On the Sookie end, let's talk about what's going on with Sookie. Sookie is still at the ferry spot, and she just found out that, again, her parents were killed by a vampire. Male or female was still trying to debate on that. At first, like I said, after my first guess, it was either going to be Bill or Eric, but now I'm starting to think a little bit deeper, and I'm thinking it could have possibly been Russell Edgington. I mean, seeing as though he's back this season, it will clearly be a reason for it to be him. Now, with that, Jason is also trying to track down who the killer is, and now he's kind of gotten this like badass motif. You know, he towards the end of the episode he had this situation with Jessica, and Jessica, they got into a big argument, and she ended up biting her, and he like shot her in the head. Like literally, she started biting him. He was just like and like blew her brains out. I was like, damn, Jason shot the chick in the face, in the head. I thought it was kind of badass. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, the main highlight of this episode, again, is after Bill and Eric and the whole group, drunk of Lilith, they literally went on like a Woodstock kind of like drug-induced rage. You know, they were basically in New Orleans. They were walking down the strip. You know, they was like literally like in like some sort of daze. And the old preacher who is now part of the group, he was hitting on Russell Edgington. And now that he's newly gay, and Russell Edgington is clearly gay, you know, that's a little mixture that could happen. He can be the new Talbot. I mean, he's still a little bit too young to get that kind of position, so we'll see where that goes. Essentially, they end up in a karaoke bar, and they end up killing everybody in the room. I was like, yes. This is like really like, this is where the episode just went from here to like, woo, and like blasted into the stratosphere. You know, I'm starting to get that season 1 feel again, and whenever I get that feeling, it's always a good thing. So again, they literally massacred everybody in that bar. Even, you know, how Russell stepped up and started singing in with the karaoke was hilarious. So again, you know, this whole episode and the whole, most important part, it got to a certain point after they were basically draining everybody dry that Lilith appeared. Now, I don't know if she really appeared or was this like some sort of blood dream because they drank of her blood, so then they were able to see her, but she literally appeared, and she was hot. Man, was she hot. So anyway, she shows up, and basically we get another Godric cameo. And again, can I tell you how upset I am that Godric is dead? Like, that's probably one of the hardest deaths that happened in True Blood for me, was Godric, because he was so awesome. But Godric shows up, and he's telling Eric that, you know, what you're doing is wrong. Your sister does not. Make sure you save her. So I think Eric is finally snapped out of whatever little phase he was going in. He's going to try to get everything back in order, so we'll see how that goes as well. Overall, I'm going to definitely give this episode a 4 out of 5. Definitely really enjoyed this episode. But you know how this works. I definitely want to hear what you guys think about the episode. You know how to comment in the section below. Thumbs up if you're happy to see True Blood be back at a positive stance. And as well, subscribe to my videos. You know, I do everything weekly. So definitely subscribe to see the rest of my videos and check out my channel as well. This is Shut Up the King. You guys have an awesome night.